DC Comics is at it again. This time they're taking DDayCobra, Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers, and turning him into a villain in the new Blue Beetle comic. This isn't the first time it's happened. Actually, there's been 5 people who have been turned into villains by these comic companies in the mainstream industry. I'll go over all of them so that you can pretty much have a list of people of who to follow in just a moment. This is hilarious. And as usual, they just make Jeremy look badass. Like I want him to beat the Blue Beetle. Like, I really do. It's really funny stuff, and we'll get into it in a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody, the most trusted name in comics news, as I'm the only person who reports on this stuff on a regular basis, and I appreciate you for being here, so please hit the like and subscribe button and join our community as we are fighting back against these evil degenerates in mainstream culture. I'm doing so by making my own comic, and I'm such a threat to these people that they banned me from Kickstarter because of my YouTube commentary about 2 weeks ago. And that's why I launched my book on Fund My Comic. It's a free speech platform. This is high-tea action and adventure. This is Space Marines versus the Xenos, who are trying to destroy humanity. It's everything comics used to be, and we got an art style that's awesome. It's like 70s Jack Kirby art, like a 70s cartoon, stuff that like they just never had anymore, because they just try to put this like modern audiences, real world current day BS into everything. And so we're pushing back against this. If you love Geeks and Gamers, you're going to enjoy this book so much. This is everything Zack Snyder should have done with a sci-fi thing. But of course, he's a crazy weirdo too, but that's another story. Unfortunately, they're not associated with Zack Snyder at this point, and neither am I. Please grab this in the description below. Support our channel. It's a 66-page graphic novel. It's awesome, and you will enjoy this. Thank you so much for supporting alternative arts. So, Jeremy is now very obviously him, a villain in the Blue Beetle. And as you can see, he's saying, and what's funny about the SJW is when they do this kind of messaging, they always like tell the truth, like in a way that like they fail at, because they're such liars and such deviants and such weirdos, such satanic freaks, that they just can't help themselves. And so, as he says, unlike the mainstream media, we don't wear makeup, we don't spread lies, we don't have a bias, we believe in the truth. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what he reports. That's exactly what we report. Yeah, Jeremy sounds right here. The left tries to tell us that multiculturalism is the answer to all society's problems. Yeah, they do try to tell us that. He's right again. And yet they criticize us for being men. Yeah, they do. For being white? Yeah, they do. For being straight? Yeah, this is correct. They do. They want to emasculate you. Yeah, evil Jeremy's right. I guess if the Blue Beetle's fighting against this, I'm cheering for Jeremy. I mean, what a badass. So, oh my gosh, what cringe that they posted here. They show how stupid they are in their true colors. Crazy stuff every single time. And like I said, it's not the first time they've done this. Now, there's been 5 instances in comic history where they've gone at different content creators that I am aware of, that I've seen in mainstream comics. And the first couple I couldn't find quickly, but they turned Doug Ernst, who used to work for the Washington Times and now is an Iconic Comics writer with his Soul Finder series, a Catholic guy. They turned him into a villain called Ernst in Moon Knight. In another book, they called Vox Day a villain, and it was clearly him. Clearly drawn like him as well. I don't have those examples pulled up, but I do have the next couple as well. Of course, Jeremy is the newest. Just last year, they put Eric July into a book, clearly Eric July, and it was a like mashup of him and Alex Jones as they're making the Eric July thing here. They're putting alien DNA in the chocolate milk, and they called them con men and bullies whom becomes loud naturally. Was here, and obviously he's standing for Lex Luthor, and maybe Lex Luthor isn't so bad after all. It's like now I'm seeing like wait a minute, like who are the real villains here? And of course, the 5th time that was there was an attack, they made a video, a comic adaptation of the Atari Centipede video game, and they've got this multi-page rant about yours truly. That's me, John Delarose. I actually was in comics in the mainstream being attacked before it was cool. This was back in 2018. And they did this alien language quote, and they tried to make it, look funky like alien language. But you turn the panel upside down, and it's a rant about me. John Delarose is a never was fat piece of shit who blames everyone but himself for his ineptness. And it goes on like a multi-page rant about me too. It's crazy. John can't get it up. I mean, it's wild that they did this. John can't get hard unless he complains that SIFWA put him down. That's the Science Fiction Writers Association. I mean, it's crazy. But this is how these people act. Alt Heroes is a joke. And that's, of course, a book that Vox Day wrote. And it's crazy. And, of course, I forget what this one says. I will have my Nomi revenge. This is not about me. I guess the dude wanted his Nomi revenge on me, is what it came down to. So you see, those are the 5 people that, like, I guess the comic industry fears more than anybody else: Jeremy Griggs, Eric July, Doug Ernst, Vox Day, and myself. And it's because we are making waves in culture. We are actually winning on every single front. And as our channels grow, these people know that they're losing influence and power. They know that their little whisper networks inside the comic industry are not selling anymore. Every new woke product they come out with, like the Nothing But Nightwing that we covered the other day, or Absolute Batman with their race swap of Barbara Gordon. All this stuff is just failing every single time because readers reject it, and they just want fun stories. They just want to be left alone. Az talked about it, of course, in his famous Starfield rant, where he goes off on the pronouns and how it just ruins the immersion and everything. And that's exactly what DC Comics does when they do stuff like this. It's absolutely stupid. And in their absolute universe, and they're all in, they're just all in on attacking the people who would be the comic readers. That's you and me and everybody who follows all these wonderful people who they just love to attack over and over again just because we don't go along with their agenda. That's all it is at the end of the day. And so we are creating differences. We are building something new. We're building a movement here, my friends, in comic books specifically, as that's my favorite medium. And again, I would love for you to join us here. Our channel's grown over 5,000 subscribers during this last couple of months as we've just fought back against exactly all this stuff that's going on right here. And of course, tried to support those who do the great work in the independent sphere. So our 3 principles, because this movement, I love to define it just so that nobody can ever co-opt what we're doing here, is about 1, opposing the degeneracy and evils of the mainstream industry that you can see right on this page right here. We will always oppose this kind of thing because it needs to be done, and we'll always speak out against it because nobody else will. Number 2, we are a explicitly Christian nationalist movement. You cannot have good without Christ, my friends. And so we are going to, of course, uphold the values that made Western civilization great, and that's what needs to be in comics because you can't have heroism without real truth. And number 3, we believe in hard work. We believe in actually producing the products. We support creators who come out with their books and are working harder to make the next ones even better, not just to rest on our laurels or anything like that. Hard work is a virtue, and getting books out to customers and supporting our customers is a good virtue too, and that's what we're doing here. So thank you guys for being with us, and of course, hilarious stuff from DC Comics. This is so cringy, I can't even believe it. Now, I would love for you to back my Emerald Array comic this weekend, my friends. We already have 216 backers, a record for a wonderful website, Fund My Comic, all because of viewers like you who are coming in on all the alternatives here. Now, I started this universe as a real, I guess, example against Star Wars, because Star Wars has all these different properties. And if you read my Overmind book or my Hidden Emperor book, those were the first offerings in that universe. This is a Space Marine spinoff, and this is a direct response to exactly what Games Workshop's doing with Space Marines and bastardizing them over there. And no, they don't own Space Marines, for all the commenters who want to say that sort of stuff. Space Marines have been a concept that's been in science fiction for well before they just decided to just grab and copy pasta that stuff. We're bringing it back to its roots here, and we're bringing things back to when action and adventure was fun. This is a wonderful graphic novel. Like I said, it's got 4 different covers, one by Mike S. Miller, who did DC's Injustice, which is the one that's on the thumbnail. We got Jeff Lastly, who's doing the interiors for another book of mine. This is a Starship Troopers parody right here. I'm doing my part, and I hope you'll do your part. Here's one of our artists who worked on The Hidden Emperor. And then here is our beautiful 4th cover, as I said. And I love what we're doing here. The Space Marines, like I said, we're bringing it in a retro feel because things were great back then. That's the type of culture I want to make, and that's the culture I want to produce here, my friends. So please grab this today. Support this full male Space Marine outfit, high tea action adventure, super fun in a just fast-paced comic that you're going to love. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. And LOL DC Comics. You can't make this stuff up. We'll be back soon.